Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, now we enter the second day of the workshop. Today, Pura will be talking about the working paper which I have distributed, and any questions which you are able to read can be raised to him, and he will be glad to answer. Now I invite Sayyid Puram. Puram.
Thank you, Dr. Javed, and I welcome all the physical and online audience to today's session. So, in today's session, I will not be doing much of the talking, but there will be a kind of interactive session, so you will not get bored. And this could also be an eye opener for you when you go through this document and the smart activity, which is not time taking and very easy. So here is a brief presentation that I want to just give you an overview of what we are going to discuss today and what will be the follow-up step. So the objective of the today's workshop is the first session is to help the participants identify gaps in the institution's QA practices and to align them with the QS ranking criteria. Why we have chosen the QS ranking criteria that has already been discussed by Dr. Ziabatul Saiba yesterday. We chose two ranking regimes basically for this capacity building program that has been initiated by the COMSTECH. So that were time higher education and QS world ranking. We have chosen QS world rankings because it is considered to be more reliable and more relevant to the Pakistani context of universities. So we'll be mapping those gaps to the QS ranking criteria that I have also shared with you, the ranking methodology for the QS 2025 and to develop actionable strategies for improvement. So this will be very easy task. Uh, uh, Once we go through all the documents and the activity, you will come to the conclusion that what are your weaknesses or strengths. So this is the pyramid that you have seen earlier. I want to re-emphasize on this because see that IQA is the foundation of which leads us toward improve global visibility and so internal quality assurance frameworks are very important. And if we are not talking about the online audience, but for the physical audience, you have already been doing this in your universities through the HEC's QA frameworks. And today's document that we have shared with you also aligns with the HEC standard, but overall it covers all aspects, all key indicators that are required to be fulfilled for the ranking criteria and the QS regime. So we need to ensure that we are implementing the internal quality assurance frameworks in letter and spirit so that we are getting the desired result. So this session is all about this pyramid, that how this IQA strengthened IQA lead us toward global visibility. So the document we have shared with you comprises the 7 standards that basically cover all aspects that are required for QS ranking criteria or other major ranking regimes like the time higher education. But we are focusing on QS. So the first area covers governance and management. Second is academics and faculty. Third is infrastructure and facilities, financial strength and accountability. Fifth one is quality assurance and standard. Sixth is student support services, and seventh is transparency and public disclosure. So for all these 7 standards, you will be seeing the means of verification and the evidences, KPIs. Basically, the key performance indicators for these areas. What are the key performance indicators identified in the document? And what are the means of verification that you already have or do not have? So this is the real time situation that you will be sharing with your peers here today, among your peers, so that each and every one of you, and including me, can benefit from our experiences regarding implementation of all these standards. So this is the ranking methodology for it, QS for 2025 and 2026. So this ranking methodology, ranking criteria changes not every year, not necessarily, but they do change it slightly from 1 to 2 years to 1 to 2 years time frame. They keep changing these criteria and the percentages allocated to each criteria. So this is the basic key document which we are going to base all this activity of today. Yeah. That they have changed this criteria. All right. So, but for now, yeah, yeah.
Can I enter here? Can I ask you that is it invented in the universities or already given to the universities? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So please, okay, let me clarify this to you, because this is an international conference and we are not confined we are not confined to the experiences of HEC only. This is an activity that is aligning the QS ranking metrics with the QS standards or QA practices. So these 7 standards are also comprehensive, and the ones that you are talking about are somehow, you will find those criteria that you are talking about, that the ATC has mentioned in 2023, included in 2023, they might be available in that document. So what we are doing here today is that we are just analyzing ourselves, that how these QA and QA ranking criteria are, being connected with the QS practices. Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay, Doctor, see, I,
Yes,
I think this
yeah,
is,
I'm not.
I think this is
Yeah.
very good what
Yeah.
you are mentioning. I will suggest that as he, Mr. Khurram will go through these, you can mention where the HEC has given a change. So we can even discuss that. So it will be a good discussion if we mention the HEC criteria simultaneously with them.
Yes,
Khurram can cover that.
yeah. Yes, we can do this in a different way, but not the way, like, we have not based this activity on ATC's practices
Yes.
because of this being the international
Therefore, I'm saying that
activity.
you can mention and we can discuss that how the difference can be handled and whether it is helping or not. So that will be.
Yeah.
So let him give the presentation, then we can discuss
There is
the
another maybe.
criteria of HEC simultaneously with them, and we will get done.
Yes, please.
Yes, therefore I am saying that we let him discuss the QS criteria. Then if you say that HEC has made these changes, so we can discuss that afterwards, whether this change is fruitful or not. So we can adopt them after. Thank you so much. Yes, so,
All right, thank you. So
go ahead.
now, what we are going to do in today's activity, so you will get a more clear understanding that what we are here for today. We'll be dividing these participants, all of you, into groups, and each of the group will be, working on this QS ranking criteria sheet that we have shared with you. You will go through the criteria sheet once again. I'm sure that you are already doing great at your places, but what we'll do this, that we will review the ranking methodology of the QS, and then we will align it with the monitoring and evaluation framework for the QA standards. That are, once again, I will reiterate that are not based on HEC's practices. So, but you will find the major indicators involved in the higher education sector into this document. And after this, I'll be asking the groups to map their institutions' existing QA practices, whatsoever they may be, including from this document, the seven standard-based document, or the HEC's latest document, whatsoever it is. You will have the room, and if you open the second page of the performa for this monitoring and evaluation of IQAF framework, you will see that you will be finding gaps, and you can also introduce there if you find some additional activity that is not available into this MEA framework, but you are doing into it. Maybe some kind of sustainability initiative that your institution has taken with regard to infrastructure or some other practices, so that you can add things into it. It is not primarily.
It's a good suggestion. Let's go through this, and then we can enter the criteria as we have mentioned, where which is given by ITC and where it is different from US, and whether it is going to help in our conditions or not,
Yes.
or whether we have to follow the US world ranking right. So this is one of the things, and this is very good if we can do that sitting in this section.
So, for instance, we see in the QA standard document where you are saying the means of verifications and KPIs. So we'll be seeing that which QA standard given into that performer is related to the QS ranking criteria, and you will see the performer already designed for you, and you will just have to put the reference of that specific standard into that section. For instance, like for C 1.1 standard refers to, which is mission and vision, refers to QS's academic reputation standard. And similarly, the standard C 3.7, which is for research budget in the document, refers to QS's citations per faculty. So this is how we are going to do it today. You can mention what current evidences you have available with your institution right now, like the annual report. In case of academic reputation or in case of international faculty, you will be having the record of HR. And similarly, in the same pattern, you will be identifying the gaps, that which gaps you had, which could not, lead you to compliance of that specific standard. What was the gap? And if you did something extraordinary at that level to overcome that gap, you can also mention that in and after which you will be recommending it to the audience, and you will be recommending it to to your university basically, but you will be sharing it with the audience as a practice, that what you have highlighted as your weakness or strength, and what is your future strategy to overcome that challenge at your respective institutions. So this is how you will be sharing it with the audience, because universities are very there is a lot of variation in the universities. Some are research intensive, some are teaching intensive, some focus on practical works, and similarly on theories, and then large scale and small scale universities. So after this activity is completed, then comes the action pitch plan. So pitch plan is that one of the representative or all of the group can come to the site, and you will be sharing your strengths and weaknesses and your actionable strategy that you analyze here is the best to overcome that specific challenge, which is a hindrance to compliance of QS or QS's specific ranking methodology. So that is all about today's session. Outcomes of this activity will be that we will be directly connecting the QS standards to the ranking matrix, and it also teaches us data validation, strategic planning, and stakeholder communication. That how we are going to, when we talk about the strategies and actionable recommendations, you will be analyzing that and sharing it with your colleagues, that how you can overcome that challenge. So let's start with the activity. Now I will request the audience to please let's divide them into groups of 4, I guess. Okay. Okay, you can take it 4 people will come. Go.
Okay, okay, this is the thing what this you can decide in the future.
So the groups will have 30 minutes. Yeah. So So you will be having 30 minutes for this activity, after which we will be moving for a tea break, and after the tea break, we will start with the pitch plan. So you have 30 minutes now. And once again, I would reiterate this, that this is a basic level activity as an international conference for OIC member countries. So you just have to align those basic QS practices with the QS ranking criteria. Thank you. Now, I will also invite the international audience into this exercise. The documents that we have shared with the physical audience have already been shared with you via email, and you have those documents, and please participate into this. We are also sharing for the international audience. We are also sharing these documents with you in the chat box. From center. We'll start from center. So we welcome you all and we resume with the pitch plan. First, I will invite the group including the University of Government College University, Faisalabad, and your you in your group, which other university has been? Yeah, and yeah, okay, please.
You just mentioned that how many.
Thank you very much. We have the group of the four people who are from the same university. So we are principally representing the three universities. Two are from the Government College University, Faisalabad. One is from the Government College University, Lahore, and one is from the Green University, relatively new university in Lahore. Just to give a very short introduction, the Government College University, Faisalabad is ranked in the World University ranking in the category of the 600 to 800 from the last 4 to 5 years. And in the ranking of the QS Asia, we was ranking from 2019, but in 2022, we was ranked in the Asia among the 351 to 400. 2023, we was ranked in the 301 to 350. 2024, we was ranked in the 261 to 270. And this year, we are ranked in the US World University ranking for the first time, 761 to 770. So it is a good platform to learn from the experiences of the each other. A long way to go. We have the many challenges. We have the many shortcomings. So I will try to be within the time. So the standards we have, the weightage we have, and then we have relevant to the quality assurance standards they have provided with us, which are more or less a little bit different from the PSD, but on the broader term, it's the same category. Current evidence and then gaps and the recommendations. So main our aim is to link that the which segment of the QS ranking we are talking about and how we are going to link it with the standards we have for the quality in the institution, and then what are the current evidence we are providing as a journal in a practice, what are the gaps we are facing, and then what are the recommendations we have that how we can overcome those gaps. So I will be very keen to learn from the different groups, especially our representative from the Qaeda, from the NAST and from the PAS, that how they are doing those things so that we have a better insight that where we are lacking. There are the two parallel pathways. One is the improvement that we have to make the improvement. Things do not exist or do not exist at the pace we required for the QS ranking. And the other is that the things are existing, but we are not producing them or we are not linking them in a roadmap as they should be. So a better documentation is required over there. So if I come to the first QS standard, the global engagement, it has the 15% the weightage. And sorry, it's the second one. Yes, it's the second one. The first one is actually research and discovery with a 50% weightage. So it is almost the major chunk of the ranking is coming from over here, and the academic reputation is the 30%. So when we talk about the academic reputation, there are I think there are the two pillars of the academic reputation. One comes with the time that the people absorbs your existence in the system and outside the system. When we say in the system, it means within the Pakistan, and when we say outside the system, it means we are talking about the global community. We are engaged with that one. So it is related with the standard 3, the academic reputation, it covers the 30%. As far as the experience of the QS, that how they take the reputation, we all are doing the QS surveys. So when an institution fills the QS forms, they provide with the list of the contacts from the region, from the country, and then from outside the region or outside the country. So at least 300 active contacts need to be provided. Different universities use the different exercises. come send the emails in advance to them and says that we are giving your name for the survey of the QS. Are you willing or that? And then they take the feedback, and based upon that one, they provide the list. Then they shuffle up those lists and send the emails for the ranking. And when we are doing those surveys, we have seen this is beside your institute, rank the institute at least 10 in the international scope, rank the 10 institute in your country, in your region. So this is actually the academic reputation. So when it comes into the mind, when I am filling the form, so I will think that the which institute of the Pakistan I should rank first, I should rank second. And there are the many parameters which will be in my mind to keep. Maybe it could be the placement of the university. It could be that how old the university, and it could be that what they have produced so far. So this is a very important segment. I already talked that the evidences required over here are the surveys. And then the gap over here, that we are from the different academic institutes and having the different backgrounds. So some are the quite well established, some are the relatively newer, some are 2 decades old, 2.5 decades old, and some are even lesser than a decade old. So the Punjab University are the, to some extent, the Qaid-e-Azam University or the Islamia University of the Bahawalpur or the PZU, they are 2 old institutes. So they do not have to work very hard for the national acceptability. But for the newer institute, they have to relatively work very hard for the national acceptability, so that they can make their institute a well-reputed institute, or the institute which remains in the minds of the people. This can be done by doing the MOUs with the universities. Within the universities, this can be with the increasing the engagement of the universities with your institution. Like we have the external examiners, like we have the members of the board of the studies, like we have members of the board of the faculty. If we are not taking just from our own city, if we take the diverse approach over here, more people are traveling to our university, and they will having a more idea about the institutions existing over there. So this can generate a goodwill for our academic reputation. But it's a long way, because if the international institutes are ranking you, then you have the high weightage as compared to the national. So the co-authors we have across the world, we can engage them in this survey. The collaborators, the research collaborators, are our alma maters. We have a good number of the faculty members which are foreign qualified, so they can engage their alma mater over here. A citation for the faculty member. If we this relate to the standard 2 and 3. This citation that is powered by the Scopus, so they take the data from the Scopus. They have the scrollers in the Scopus. Many of us already know how the scrollers work. Scrollers principally work. They take your list of the faculty. They take your affiliation, and then they start scrolling and mapping up all those publications and the relevant citation at your account. And then they divide it through the overall number of the faculty member to get the citation per faculty member. So there could be that there in some institutes, there are 10, 20, 50 people with a very high number of the citation, and the benefit is getting to the whole institution. So the gap is to attract the faculty member which is research intensive, and then those members are actually contributing to your citation or 20% of your rating in the QS. How this can be done? This can be done by giving the training to the young faculty members, that it is very important when you are giving the affiliation, especially when we are doing the collaborative work. For example, I publish an article in some good journal, but my first affiliation belongs to the China, and my second affiliation belongs to the Government College University. The main credit of that article will goes to China, because my first affiliation belongs to over there. So we need to have some regulation over the university, need to educate our young faculty members. The senior ones already take care of these things. So in this way, and secondly, we need to provide them the incentives for publication. Different universities are incentivized in the different ways, like some universities from the Pakistan, like my own university.
Two more.
Okay, thank you. They give the almost the 30,000 per publication. So that's in this way they have incentivized for going into the good impact factor publications. Employability outcome. When it comes to the employer reputation, employer is your institute which is giving the employees it again goes back to the institutional reputation of the system. It belongs to the standard 1 and 2, quality position and its selectivity. Of course, the universities which are centered in the big cities will be benefited over here, but nevertheless, if the institute is working good, like in the Miyawali, if some institute is performing good, the good faculty member will keep it on its preference to join it. So this will give us a good ratio of the marks over here. Employment outcome is about the students we have passed out and what is their employability ratio and how much income they are generating as the first year, second year, third year is coming over here. So here we can also do a lot of the things to make it better. Global engagement, the international faculty ratio, 5%. Of course, our universities are not very well paid, so there are the less chances that people from the developed countries are traveling to the Pakistan for the employability. But we can make the short and the long term plans in which the underdeveloped countries can engage for the long term, and the developed countries can be engaged for a short term visit, like the summer visit for the 3 months, where they can be either an academic collaboration or can be the research collaboration with them. International research network, if the faculty is engaged to have the more and more collaboration across the globes, even on the Scopus when we check, anyone personal profiles, it gives us that how much you have international collaborations with the how much diversity from the different countries. So here we can get the benefit of this one. Learning experience, faculty to the student ratio is a very hot topic for the Pakistan. I am running out of the time, but we like the international standard for the teacher-student ratio is a 13:1, and HEC standard for the teacher-student ratio is 30:1. So it's already at the bottom level or at the low yardstick. Of course, the financial condition of our universities are not too high. This can only be done if we have the research intensive. Some of the institutes or some of the departments are the research intensive, and their employers are not dependent for their financial sustainability on the university, then they can manage it. And the last, they have arranged the new one, the sustainability. This is the new segment added by the US. This actually encompasses that your energy, electricity is the efficient, your water storage or the water recycling is the efficient. You have the zero carbon emission over the campus. So of course, this belongs to the governance of the university. Many things can be done over here. So if we talk about our practices and the practices of the Government College University Lahore and the green universities, we learn from the experience by talking with the one another from the each other. There were some good practices they were adopting. Some things we can share with them. So we hope we will have a lot to learn from the other groups as well. Thank you very much.
And now I will discuss the group representing, including Pyaz and other members.
Assalamu alaikum. Dr. Ghulam Mustafa from Pyaz. I'm representing Qaid-e-Azam University, University of Engineering and Technology, Lahore, IRFA International University, and Pakistan Institute of Engineering and Applied Sciences. As far as the indicators for the QS ranking are concerned, we mapped, for example, research and discovery. So before talking about the mapping, I would like to highlight that the standards that have been shared that have to be mapped to QS performance lenses, those are basically inward oriented towards the internal quality assurance practices. We found it difficult to actually align with the ranking standards that are based on international, they are basically outward facing. So there is some difficulty, but we still try to map based on their alignment where they actually fit. For example, regarding academic reputation, we found that C 1.4, C 3.8, 3.9, and C 7.2. These are the relevant sections of the standards that can contribute to the academic reputation. As far as the strategies to boost academic reputations are concerned, I think my colleague from DCU Faisalabad has given very good suggestions. Like, for example, we can tap the faculty contacts that are already there in the university, their research collaboration. We can use them and can update our contacts list on the QS website so that they can give feedback about the reputation of the university. As far as the citations per faculty is concerned, we mapped standards C 1.4, C3, and C3.7. For the C 1.4, we realized that all our universities are satisfying this standard. But as far as C 3.7 is concerned, it requires that the university spends at least 10% of its budget on research projects. And we felt that all our universities in our group, we are spending less than that. So one of the actions we can request the management is to enhance the budget of research projects to meet this criteria. So that citation per faculty can be enhanced. Overall, we have a good standing in this area, but we believe that it can further be enhanced in this one. One good practice that I can share from our perspective is to encourage all faculty members who are publishing papers to create their Scopus ID or profile, because there are certain papers top faculty members have published, but usually they do not show up on Scopus database. So if a faculty member has their profile listed on the Scopus database, at least they can see that all their published papers are available over there. So whenever the QS or other ranking agency will pull the data for an institution, all those papers will be available over there and will be credited for the ranking purpose. Next, for the employer reputation, we mapped standards C 3.2 and C 6.2. We believe that both of these standards will contribute to employer reputation. And similarly, for the employer outcomes, we may again map these two standards, C 3.2 and C 6.2. As far as the employer outcome is concerned, you might have noticed there are two parameters. One is the graduate employability index. Like if I give the example of PIAS, we have more than 90% employability index, because many of our students, they are basically fellows. So after graduation, they straight away join the organization. But that high score is again multiplied with notable alumni or alumni impact. If the notable, it's a good practice that the notable alumni is listed on university's website. So chances are they may be included. As far as the current situation is, QS has maintained a list of notable alumni, and it's classified. Nobody knows from where they get that data. And because of that index, usually most of our Pakistani universities, they get a poor score in this area, employability outcome. It's not because of the graduate employability index, it's because of the score in the alumni impact. So one good practice over there is we can list the notable alumni on our university's website. Next, for the global engagement, I think this is an area most of our national universities are lagging, because it's concerned with international faculty, international students, then international faculty ratio. So again, the idea is that somehow this is an area where, for example, COMSTECH can play an important role by sponsoring some scholarships or getting universities from OIC countries engage with each other so that exchange programs can be launched. Our faculty members can, pay visits, research visits to each other's universities. So this is an area where we can really get significant support from COMSTECH if we launch such program. Lastly, faculty-student ratio and sustainability. These are the areas, as Dr. already mentioned, concerned with good governance, environmental sustenance mechanism, and equity and diversity and inclusion mechanism. They're all related with the governance structure, and they basically differ from university to university. Every university is trying. This is an area where most of the universities are taking initiatives, and inshallah, over the years, things will get better. Regarding learning experience, again, it's a number that varies from year to year, because it's based on the number of faculty that you have and the number of students. And actually, most of the engineering programs, since the enrollment is declining, this number is already improving. But there are other fields, for example, computer science, this is deteriorating. So it's a number that will keep on changing. Could not be controlled, I guess. So that's all from our side. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saab. You have raised very important point. And I would like to emphasize especially on employability and outcome. There are hardly any universities in Pakistan that are working on it. And this is the main reason that you see we are not able to commercialize our services or product or our, whatever the courses we are offering, that we don't have any statistics to refer to. So this is the main hindrance toward, your academic reputation and, employer's reputation and all the indicators that are related to this. So why are we here today? We are here today to strengthen our internal quality assurance frameworks. So if we see that this is a major factor that is contributing to, enhancing the ranking of a university, so we need to work on that. And when we move, from here back to our universities or institutions, we need to, emphasize on this, and we need to focus on, we need to initiate this in collaboration with the vice chancellors, with the leadership of the universities, that we need to do something on this, because data is the strength. If you have the data, you are strengthened, you can achieve a lot. So some of the institutions have also mentioned that training programs for data submission and all that stuff also needs to be initiated. But apart from this, first we need to strengthen our internal quality assurance frameworks. Whatever it is, maybe it is HECs or at international level, at some countries' own IQAF, whatever it is, we need to implement it, and we need to focus on its strengths and weaknesses so that we can move forward in the context of these ranking criteria.
And
So, yeah, please.
uh, see, everybody has noticed what the art has said. The employability is very important. And they have a structure like that. That whoever is inducted in courses, he is already employed and he knows where he has to go. So they have an act on another. But this act really gives the feeling level. So other universities can also work out to take students in the university. Before taking them, they could decide how many students to be employed after finishing. And I think it's very important. If we work on it, those students should be knowing that where they will be after the that's the. But, you have a chance to speak.
You can, if you have. Yeah. Okay.
Uh, Okay, we are also supporting a lot of students. Uh, Students from Yemen, students from Palestine, and students from other adhesive countries. What I am talking about is the employment on which the PR is spent. Because when the student comes, he knows what he has to do and where he will end up. And that should be known to us when we started doing a business. And this is very written to take from the class how we do that. See, first, if the requirement comes up to us, like how many students is needed in nuclear medicine, how many students are needed in radiotherapy, how many students are needed in oncology, MSc engineering side, system side, and all these sides. So on that, they decide how many students they have to take for the course.
So now from the University of Pagoda, group, please. Please also mention the name of the other universities that are being represented in the group.
I'm representing University of Sargota, Islamic University of Bahawalpur, and Superior University. But, my friends, those have already been talked on it. They have elaborated much more. So I shall just indicate the relevant QS standard with the ranking standard. So, first of all, ranking academic reputation for academic reputation and citation for faculty. We have standard 6 of RIPE, internationalization and global engagement. That is compatible to the research discovery, and it has 50% weightage. Current evidences in this regard are most of the universities, I think, have Office of Internationalization, and other than this, policy regarding internationalization. If any institutions have not just still framed the policy for internationalization, I will suggest to please, first of all, formulate the policy. That should be based on the indicators. And my recommendation is to build linkages with the national universities and international universities. Then it's citation for faculty. As well as the citations is concerned, actually it shows the quality of research publications. And the Scopus or ISI Web of Science have the big databases, and they have the opportunity to extract the citations citations from their databases. So in Pakistan, mostly universities don't have the access of ISI Web of Science and the Scopus. So we are glad that how much citations our university have. And if any faculty member publish any international publish any publication, they should focus that he should be the author of that first author of that publication. If he will be the first author of that publication, the in result the citations will be counted for that university. Then is employer reputation. This in QS standard we don't have relevant standard about the employers or employment outcomes. But universities can provide the platforms to the employers and the alumni. For global engagement, standard 6 of RIPE is compatible. And every university has the office of office of ORIC, and other than this, office of internationalization. And this standard global engagement is global and research discovery. Both have the same standard. Then learning experience and faculty student ratio. So every university should maintain the student ratio. I think 1:30, that is prescribed by the HEC, but 1:20 is the best for the global ranking. And moreover, we can calculate the faculty student ratio as per FT, full-time equivalent. We can take the
visiting faculty, we can take the our faculty that is not a permanent faculty. We can also calculate the full-time equivalent of that faculty and can be counted in the full-time faculty list. As well as sustainability available, my friends have already discussed much more on it.
Okay. I think after this presentation, we take some questions on the net. The people who are on the net, they are asking few questions. We go to them. We answer those questions. Thank you. Can-
For the international audience, I would request the international participants, if you have any question or if you want to participate with regard to any specific indicator or when a specific point, please you can raise your query.
Go ahead, if somebody has a question, please show your interest so we can. Okay, Dr. Shafiq has raised them. Let me ask. Dr. Shafiq, can you ask the question?
Yes,
Go ahead.
I have joined. I have joined online, but
Okay.
sometimes it was disconnected and sound
Yes.
system did not work. So I'm asking, may we have the video related to these recordings of this workshop?
Yes, we have a video recording of this workshop. Any
So,
other question?
okay. No, not now. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Let's move to our presentation.
So, moving back to the physical audience, I would now request the group involving NUST and other members to please come.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear participants who are present here physically, and to all the Muslim friends who are spread across different OIC countries. I am Director Policy and Strategy, Adnan Maqsood from National University of Sciences and Technology, Pakistan. In the latest US ranking, our university was ranked at 371. In our focus group, it was actually quite diversified, and we can call it an international focus group. I was accompanied by Dr. Saifullah Khan, Dr. Director Quality Enhancement Cell, Ahmedabad University of Science and Technology, Ahmedabad. Dr. Shah Masood, Director Quality Enhancement Cell, University of Haripur. Dr. Bilal, Director Quality Enhancement Cell, BUTEMS. So it's technically about 3 provinces. And then Dr. Midhat Salman, Director International Linkages from University of Health Sciences. So disciplinary spread was also present from Medical University. Dr. Noreen Aslam, PS2 Vice Chancellor, University of Health Sciences, Lahore. And definitely, thank you very much, Dr. Martha Singh, Senior Lecturer, University of Johannesburg, South Africa. We had a kind of a discussion among our colleagues. I gave my perspective of what NUST is thinking. And then, of course, our team also gave their point of view. And then we have come up with a few points Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to touch upon the first fundamental thing that I think no one has talked about in length except you, that is related to the financial thing. First, let me give you an example of Pakistan education system. Overall, if you see the top 500 universities of the US, the GDP of a country and the number of universities of that country in US top 500, they are strongly correlated with a correlation factor of 0.78. So for the Muslim Ummah and the OIC countries, even though in future those who are going to break the barriers of higher education, top 300, top 200 universities, that is fundamentally grounded in a higher GDP of that country. That's one aspect. Pakistan, next is related to their spending on education from that GDP ratio. From different countries, OECD, G10, G20, G14, G7, about 4 to 6% of their GDP is spent on education, the complete education from basic, primary, tertiary. In Pakistan, unfortunately, we are spending only 1.2% on overall education. And then within this 1.2%, the higher education recurring budget for this last year was 66 billion rupees. And it has stagnated for 68, 66 billion of our higher education commission across all the provinces for the last, I would say, 3 to 4 years. This is about 5%. It used to be 8%. So this clearly says that our education spending is going down. And why we are talking about this public sector sponsoring? If you see the QS top 100 universities, 2026, the list is out. 79 out of 100 universities are public sector universities. And then there are a few private sector universities such as Harvard. Harvard is classified as a private university. So because they are run by their endowment. So this means that public character is mandatory. And then when you move to QS Asia rankings, 84 out of top 100 Asian universities are public in character. That clearly demystifies all across the OIC countries that if we want to enter into this league of high-ranked universities, without the government spending excessively, we will not be able to enter in this public sector perspective, in this high-ranking university. Then the next thing is, maybe this might be misleading. What about the governments that are spending per student per year on higher education? In Pakistan, there are about 2 million students that are enrolled in 272 universities. 161 are public in character. And out of those, in those 161 public sector universities, 1.6 million students are getting higher education. So our government is spending approximately 50,000 rupees per student per annum on these students. If you see Japan is spending 20,000 US dollars per annum per student in their education system. Now with this $150 grants on our public sector program, it is a question to ponder, how are we going to break those barriers of higher education system? So our collective finding is definitely we need to have a higher funding disbursement to higher education if we want to move in top 500 universities and to improve our ranking. Look at, go and study KFUPM. MashaAllah, King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals has gone to 67th rank this year. There are a few universities that I saw in the lobby. UAE, Saudi Arabia, they are investing heavily. And that is why more and more their universities, Qatar, they are coming in top 500 universities visibly. So without funding, whatever you guys are talking, we are talking, it will remain there. So I move on to my next point. That was my first one. Financial support is the first thing to move into rank.
I like to have,
Sir, please.
that you have, I have also put the slide that how, which you have got on. Definitely, the bank. Because this from really, as you have already mentioned, will be around the bank. So, first is start spending more money, like, in our company. This is but natural. So you have to. Make it.
Next one. 2 months back, I had an opportunity to attend US-China summit in China, Chengdu. I had an interaction with so many people. And of course, the director of US intelligence, Mr. Lee Camelin, I had about 1 hour chat with him as well on how NUST can improve ranking. And the first thing that out of those discussions that I realized is most of you guys are sitting here from STEM disciplines, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We see a number and then we try to improve the number. We are unable to get the spirit of these ranking systems. Yesterday, one of my friends was also pointing out the biasness of these ranking systems, that they are qualitative survey based. Now, imagine a social scientist perspective. Surveys, what we do believe in Gallup surveys. Surveys are the one actually that can give you the perception. So these rankings are strongly driven by perception. Now, these perceptions are shaped in a very different way. Most of us sitting in this auditorium, I'm sorry, we are losing our currency in handling the manipulating the perception. The world has significantly changed. I asked him, how do I improve my reputation? He said, what about the visibility of your university? And I started to think, I said, yeah, our university is visible. He gave me a test case example of Johns Hopkins University. Ladies and gentlemen, we have all lived COVID. When COVID struck, what happened at Johns Hopkins University? They rushed, they brought the students from physics discipline, computational physics background. They asked them to develop those database pathways and make a GUI where they can get the data of how many COVID cases are being reported in every country every day. That's it. And in 1 week, the governments, the organizations were taking decisions on that dashboard, when to open and when to close. The whole world was hitting Johns Hopkins University website. And those parameters that are designed to identify the reputation, the visibility of the university, no one bothers what research Johns Hopkins was doing in the COVID realm. But everybody was visiting them and referring to their website, how are the COVID cases evolving in the world. So these are the instruments. Our universities have become ivory towers. We have become resistant to change ourselves. We really need to think our digital marketing strategies. Let me ask you, what is the focus of all the universities across the OIC on their websites? How many universities have their accounts on the social media, WhatsApp channel, Facebook, LinkedIn? US is highly collaborating with LinkedIn. Even their alumni surveys depend on LinkedIn. They crawl through those LinkedIn profiles. They see how many influential people are there. Okay, these influential people, their education is from one of the university, that university jacks up in their alumni ranking. These are the perspective I think that we need to figure out, that the digital marketing strategy of our universities is totally lacking. How many Muslim scientists have their LinkedIn page? Minimum. So definitely, sir, you are an exception, but I'm talking about the general perspective. Even I joined LinkedIn last year because of these questions. So the universities have to have their digital strategy, make your university visible, put your lectures online, because people are not visiting your university. This is a unique forum where we are talking about, we will have very less chance of visiting most of these countries. We just know the names of their countries, but we don't want to see the names of these universities coming up. And that is where the perceptions start changing about this university, and then they go into your reputation. The second thing, or I would say the third thing, first one is the financial. Okay, sir. I will just quickly wind up. Okay. Okay. Another thing is, I have the paper available. I stumbled upon how to actually improve rankings. All of you are focusing on citations per faculty. It is very important. My university, we are pushing our faculty terribly. But let's just figure out how is this citation per faculty working. Have you seen what papers are cited? What are the papers that Qaid-e-Azam University is getting phenomenal advantage about? These are the Lancet papers that have 200 authors, 300 authors. What are they doing? They are the database development papers, behavioral psychology development, database development papers, sampling, human sampling papers, all of the medical sciences. And then they come up and those databases become the reference for all kind of studies. Those papers, we don't have a mindset. We are always because thinking about our own citations and everything. Those citations, even though you improve, you will not reach to that point. So ultimately, what I'm saying is that we need to revisit all these paradigms. We studied, so yeah, my point was Qaid-e-Azam University is mashallah 97% better than MIT. I mean, you can, no university in the Islamic world can beat Qaid-e-Azam University in citations per faculty, probably, maybe one odd university, maybe that's all. But still it is 354. So the answer we wanted to see is how these parameters are interconnected and what are the most influential. Number one is reputation. Focus on reputation score. If you improve your reputation score, your ranking will go up. There is a paper this year in January from University of Sharjah that studied what parameters can help you boost your ranking. Second is sustainability. You see, none of us or most of us are not having any climate anxiety. But the kids who are coming up in universities, Gen Alpha is going to enter in our universities in 2028. These kids are being taught sustainable development goals in grade 5 and 6. Their mindset is wired that we have to fight this sustainability. We have to figure out the climate change. And they have even anxiety being developed. I have never heard of this climate anxiety before, but this is a newly point paradigm. So the students would be more and more selective towards climate resilient, climate perspective, sustainability driven universities. Visit your VN and mission statements. Are you addressing sustainability in your VN and missions? Are you actually catering for climate change perspective? How are you posting in your education for sustainable development or university operations from sustainability perspective? And then the research, sustainability driven research. So last, I would like to conclude with this two words. Number one is put student in the center. See, without we are not going to get any funding. Most of these OIC countries in their higher education. Let's be realistic. So we should take ranking as an instrument of improving the student experience. Put student in the center, and then you need to have a qualified researcher to improve the student satisfaction, and to retain the researcher, you need to give him good salaries, research environment. So everything system will fall in place once you put student in the center in your philosophy, in your strategy. I would like to conclude with a plausible statement. Our universities are moving towards tactical brilliance and developing strategic incompetence. It's time to put a truly wholesome strategy in our university opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It was really a thoughtful section and point. Here, I'd like to mention that if you have noticed that my presentation, I considered the sustainable development goals then linked with the university. So if we go to the sustainable development goals, they teach us how to handle this, because then even we are teaching, even we are increasing the university ranking, but we are very down in reaching the sustainable development goal. I have mentioned in that in SDG, we are at the 140th rank. Our country is at 140. Second, when we talk about SDG 4, we are the more challenges remain unsolved. It is. So we have to think about.
Thank you very much, Dr. Adnan and the group for such an enlightening discussion. And you mentioned about, financial constraints. Yeah, that is a huge constraint, but yet we have, initiatives that we don't need, funds for. Like sustainability you were talking about, in the conclusion of your discussion, like what sustainable practices we have introduced in our institutions. Do such practices really need a huge financing? We really need to think about this. The quality assurance managers and all the, international collaborators and, people are sitting here. We need to focus on this at institution level, that what kind of sustainable practices can we introduce and how we can market them, that we have incorporated these concepts into our institution. And secondly, the infrastructure development is the kind of thing that is, always ongoing, at every institution. We can talk about public or private, at each level, this thing is happening. So where is the concept of sustainable infrastructure? Does it really exist? Do you, give it a weightage when developing infrastructure? We really need to think about this also. So moving forward, now I would request the Noor International University and the University of South Dakota. Yeah, please, you can, yeah. I think we could come and talk here, or we can get you a mic, please. Mic, please. Question for now. ये दे दें यहाँ पे।
इधर दे दें, इनको दे देना।
Here. Please, can you please speak?
Can you speak on this? Okay.
Well, you see, it's a very tricky thing and it's a long, I would say, one-day activity of how NUS is evolved, has already evolved, and in the process of evolving their practices, aligning the quality assurance framework with, how should I say, the ranking business, ranking paradigm. I'll start from the VN and mission statement. I think it is in the beginning governance framework. Alhamdulillah, in Pakistan, whenever a new vice chancellor comes, he immediately says, okay, let me decide a new VN and mission for this program. And the whole university goes to fix, because then, of course, this VN and mission is into their department, disciplines, programs, and then if you are engineering university, OB framework and everything. We made a very long exercise and we studied VN and mission statement practices of 357 universities. And in that process, we stumbled upon this article where we saw what are the words, their frequencies the world is using in their VN and mission statements. And from that scientific approach, we evolved our VN and mission statement. And it's a very elaborate process. About a committee comprising of 15 people was established. And then, of course, the VN and mission statements were circulated among the faculty, senior faculty members, not all of them, multiple times. And then in about 3 months exercise by engaging the faculty, the lead student representatives, and that is how we evolved. Unfortunately, in Pakistan, our VN and mission statements are issued from rectors or vice chancellor's office, or it is made in haste by looking at a few universities of the world. So this is one dimension where you need to design and develop the VN and mission statement. Moving on towards the next thing.
Of course, we are not the best at NUS. We are also learning from you guys. There are so many things that we have to calibrate. For instance, initially we used to give financial awards to the any publication that is coming up in the Web of Science as well as Cooper's journals to our faculty. The funds were depleting. And of course, we were giving financial awards to the faculty for publishing papers that were not finding us any citation.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Adnan. We will, continue with this discussion or any, queries, after the, presentations are,
Presentation are.
so we can then take this up.
We have
So now-
two more presentations.
Yeah, and I would request, the COMSTECH and the group to present.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Dr. Bilal Ejaz. I am in charge of the Quality Enhancement Cell at COMSTECH University, Islamabad. So our group was comprising of our main university, University of Sialkot, and Delhi. So you have heard that how this US World University Ranking is linked with the quality assurance parameters from my previous from the previous presentation. I'll try to focus on all these weightage and standards of the QS ranking and what you should do immediately right after this workshop before the next submission. So I will try to focus on that. So the first thing is the research and discovery. It has two components. First one is the academic reputation and next one is the citation per paper. Now let's for a minute focus on academic reputation. It has 30% of the mark. So it has very simple questions from the QS that which universities are demonstrating academic excellence. That's the only question. Now the answer is what is the data source and what should we do as universities in the Islamic world in general and in particular in Pakistan, from the Pakistan perspective. The only answer is the survey. The surveys of the peers which are in other universities and universities, you can say in Europe or North America. So the thing is that the data is based upon the surveys done by the previous respondents, the submitted contact list provided by your institution, the sign-up facility and the QS sign-up facility, or the IBIS database. These are the four sources from where academic reputation is judged. Now the thing is that if I'm sitting here in Islamabad in COMSTECH, and let's say my friend is sitting in, let's say University of Manchester, so what I will do that I will take his consent that he will provide a feedback. So I will just put his name and the QS will send him an email regarding a survey. So now I have to ensure that Mr. X, Mr. Y, Mr. Z, my colleague, they have completed that survey. And the thing is that you have to provide at least 400 contacts and maybe 200 plus of your peers have responded in your favor, you will get good marks in academic level. That is the only way. That is the only way. The existing practice is that we are taking the contact list from our, let's say, controller office, where our PhD external supervisors are situated, maybe in North America or in Europe. Sometimes they respond, sometimes they won't respond, sometimes they have retired, in some cases we have observed that they have passed away. So now how to address this problem of academic reputation and ensure that surveys are completed. There is only one thing you can do. Engage your young faculty and active faculty that they should provide you with up-to-date peer contact list. And you should deploy them, your young faculty or your active researchers, that they ensure that they are in touch with those external faculty members in other universities of the world, and they have provided you the feedback. So this is the only way. So I will now jump towards the next thing, that is site. Yes, please.
You are absolutely right. The question is how better to that is for the feedback we have.
Incentive, yes. So yeah. Okay. So I will give 3 or 4 recommendations that what can we do? You can engage faculty for up-to-date clear contact list. You can engage your international office. You see, sometimes international delegations are coming over here, international professors are coming to our university. In COMSTECH, it happens every week. So we can engage them and we can convince them that when you go back, please try to convince your faculty that at least provide 5 or 10 surveys. The next thing is that you can design or define a deans or a chairperson task force in your campus, and they can ensure with their faculty. And the last thing is that there should be some honorarium for the faculty members who are bringing these academic fears and they are providing the data. Okay, so next I will jump towards citation per faculty. That is 20% of the weightage. 20% of the weightage. The formula is simple. That is total normalized citations divided by number of academic faculty. So the thing is that they take data, the university has no control over this. So the QS take data from Scopus and the last 5 years data is taken. So higher the number of citations will give you more marks in this category. Now the universities can have an action plan regarding this, that instead of just a publication, just for a publication, try to convince the faculty that we will appraise you and we will give you some incentive. Try to publish such things which gets more citations. One thing that can happen, that the senior faculty members who are already professors and they have no number that they have to fulfill, they can do survey publication. Like just take one field and write a survey paper. So our experience is that the survey papers will get more citations as compared to just a single research paper. For example, I'm also a professor of electrical engineering and my field is antennas. And if I'm designing some antenna and publishing, so there will be less citations. And if I am summarizing the past 5 years antennas in my field, it will get obviously it will get more citations. So they will take data from the last 5 years and they will divide it and you will get a score. The highest number of score a university gets will get 100 out of 100. That is obviously the MIT, and the rest are graded subsequently. So that's the second thing. So it makes 50% of the QS world ranking score, the academic reputation, and 20% is citation. So for the time constraint, so I will stop here. That's 50. Okay. Okay, next thing is the faculty-student ratio. Again, the formula is simple. Number of academic faculty divided by number of students. So a very good number is that 1 to 13. So it's very difficult to achieve that because we have constraints over here, financial constraints. But try to be as close to 1 to 13, so you'll get good marks. Okay, next thing is the employer reputation. It has 15% of the weightage in QS, employer reputation. Now this employer reputation is further divided into 50-50. 50 are the local employer, 50 are the international employer. And what is the source of that data? The survey. So engage with your CDC, the career development cell, get up-to-date list of your employer, and please engage with them like a biannually time, like once in a year. Bring them, the employers, to your campus, serve them with some good like dinner, and take their email addresses and convince them, please respond when the survey is received. So when the employers respond, you will get good marks. 50% is the local and 50% is the international. Okay, next thing is the employer outcome, that is 5%. Employer outcome, that is 5%. University has no control over employer outcome. University have no control. So what is the data source? Data source is alumni impact and graduate employment index. So they, as my colleague from the North mentioned, they take data from LinkedIn, they take data from other international sources, and your graduate is employed over there. His profile is maintained mostly on LinkedIn. So you will get 5% marks from there. So if you get like 3.5 or 4, this is a good number. But currently, most of the universities are only getting in less than 1 mark out of 5. Okay, then the things are the International Research Network. Again, you have no control over it. So the data available on the internet, like the research papers, they take the co-authors from that list. Let's say one author is from Italy, one author is from North America, one author is from Japan. So you will get good marks. You don't have any control over international research network. So one thing you can do that you can encourage your faculty that please publish in collaboration with international authors. One thing you can do that. Okay, then international students. So our colleague from ITC yesterday mentioned that there's a law and order situation. People don't see Pakistan as a good destination for studies or work. So we have like minimal control in international faculty or international students. Okay, lastly, the sustainability. So sustainability, again, it's what you are doing on your campus. Try to write down a report or make some Excel sheet that what are the factors you are taking for, what are the steps you are taking for sustainability. Mostly, you have installed the solar network, the campus, again, sustainability, the waste management, how you are responsibly disposing of your waste. Try to just formalize it and write in some form or maintain some data, how much, in kilograms, the waste is disposed of and things like that. So you will get good marks in sustainability. So that comprises whole 100 marks. And if you are 100%, you will get 100 marks. And you can see the universities in Pakistan are ranked like from the top is, I guess, Qaeda University with 43 marks, I guess, with US here. And then, sorry, out of 100, 43 marks. So rest are like 40, 35 and stuff like that. So that's how you can improve your numbers in US World University. Thank you. So if you have any questions, go.
I believe this is the end of the presentation. Is there any group that is left for presentation? Your group? Please, and please come.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much. This group represents now the Executive University Multan, Kohsar University in Murray, Noor International University, and Bahria University. Thanks a lot, sir. I, being one of the senior member of Director of Qualities and since working with HTC 2008. This is really tremendous. I have the young faculty members, young directors, they are really contributing and focusing more on it. So just I want to share with you my own experience really. There is no question about it that we have to assess all these parameters. And then we can really score good, just like academic reputation. I mean, academic reputation, how many lists we will prepare for the experts? they can rank us among the 100 universities. How many people we can really convince? One of our graduates enter or get admission abroad and is reviewed by the faculty member over there. He can judge how best university we are. And if that graduate is really excellent, our reputation, academic reputation enhanced many times, not with that faculty, but also with the other faculty member of the university. So what we have to do really, my question is, the efforts you make for enhancing the quality of our university by collecting data, analyzing it, and putting it on the website, that's good thing that our visibility enhances. But can we put half of those efforts in enhancing the culture of quality culture within the university? I mean, if we have to really analyze within our own university, then get the reputation of our each other university, how we will rank it. So the best is really we should have a good culture within the university. It must be student focused. Is our graduates satisfied with our university's performance when he is graduated? If he is satisfied, we have achieved what we want. He is our good ambassador. But when he goes outside and he is not satisfied, he will tell many more people really that this is the problem in the university. So my question is, rather than really putting a lot of effort on data collection, make a system within the university where QC should be part of the university, not rather an independent unit. It can create a quality culture. It will enhance the quality. So I just, it was my just few words. Academic reputation. This is really, I have observed my university and other, one of the weakest areas of university. One of the weakest areas. It is divided in scale 100, 6.8. Most of our Pakistani universities, except these two, which has ranked much higher. And the citation per faculty is good for most of the universities, but it has some advantages and disadvantages. When we say citation per faculty, mean if we have 600 students, some are delivering, some are not delivering, then we will get the average. If we have high faculty, then we must have higher citation as well. So there are two criteria, citation per faculty and citation per paper. How many publications of this university has? We have 500 people and only 100 are cited, 400 are really burden on the university. So we have to look when we are publishing papers, we don't know, not only have to cater on the only citation or only number of papers. The only suggestion I can do is go for publication for those journals which are really reputable. So then it has impact and it has citation. So the employer reputation, again, it is linked with our graduate output. If our graduates, if you imagine, if we go back 15 years back, most of our graduates in the Middle East, in America, or in the Europe were filled with the Pakistani students. But there are still large number of students exist, but being replaced with the other nationalities as well. So we have to look at it. Our graduates are meeting the need of our today's world requirement. Is our student ready to accept the challenge what's going on around now, or we are going on the curriculum of 70s, 80s? We have to think about it. If we are preparing our student for today and tomorrow, Believe me, we don't have to worry really about the employer reputation because world is open for them now. It is not only the country, they can get employment anywhere in the world if they are really current in their field. So employable outcome is really the same. Uh, yes, global engagement. Most of the universities really are very good in this area. The reason behind is we need publication and international groups also are working on it. So we include their names as well, so that it can be published as quickly as possible. So it enhances the internationalization of our universities as well. So this has helped us really, and we must work on it. So one thing is good for the university, it should be continued really with this program. Up to the diversity of the universities. Up to the diversity, it is a really a national issue. We can enhance the diversity of international faculty and as well as students, provided we have really policies like that, and there is a law and order situation better, we can improve that. So this was all about it. Thank you very much on behalf of my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saab. And Dr. Bilal has earlier mentioned about a very well coordinated working among the faculty members, for the conduct of surveys and other stuff. So we have to, design that well coordinated framework among the faculty members at the institutional level. So that is the key takeaway that you can, take from here to implement at the institutional level if you are not doing right now. And yes, there are financial constraints or law and order constraints with regard to attracting foreign faculty into the institutions. But the Dr. Saab has just mentioned about the importance of quality culture at the institution level. That is also lacking in most of our institutions. And if we really have a quality culture at an institution level, it will be doing most of the work that we need to attract international faculty at the institution. So these are interrelated things, which we can work upon, which we can, think about differently from it, by implying different strategies into this. So now the house will be open to, discussion for, we will be taking a few questions from, some of the universities of South.
Before we take questions from the university, from the teachers, I like to mention that after the lunch, we will start the voting session. First thing is important. I like to have the comments from the participants. First, start third one. If somebody is interested.
So starting first with the Bahawalpur, yes, Islamic University Bahawalpur.
And then second from the nurse and third from the COMSTECH. About the, those will be the comments, closing ceremony. Comments will be asked. Closing remarks. Not now, not okay. Not now.
Okay.
We will start at 2.
Yes.
Yeah, if you have any questions with regard to,
I have one question.
Now everybody, see, everybody has presented, universities or the group of universities which we belong to And there was some very important point was discussed. And the point of view towards those points was really diverse. And I think that we can have a discussion on that if somebody has reservations on those. So we can talk about those points again. Thank you so much. We have 15 more minutes to discuss, so we can discuss that.
Okay, right, sir. I just want to ask about the compilation of the recommendations that we have submitted, and it may be shared to within the group so that we can see and make our conclusions that the recommendations from all the participants that have been submitted to you. If it is compiled,
Okay, it is compiled. I can show you right now before presenting it in the last section.
right.
Okay?
So it may be shared within the group. That's better. Sir, one thing I want to ask about the internationalization. Is there any forum within the COMSTECH that can help us for internationalization of faculty exchange programs and student exchange programs, as well as research collaborations, research funding within the OIC countries? So if any have you, yes.
OIC or COMSTECH is open. Is open to collaborate, and we are already collaborating with many of the universities outside, and we have a group of experts too, which we provide to the universities in OIC countries. Their expertise can be utilized by the other countries too. And then we can combine on many programs which we are running in different countries. So we are running very specific programs in those countries. So you can be a part, your university can be a part of those programs. You can have the students, you can float the courses for the students. You can have an MOU signed in which you agree to provide financial help to them. And to those students, we often provide the air tickets and other things. So we provide the help and we combine with the universities. We are combining with many universities, such as University of Lahore, Sargodha University, and other universities, and we are doing that. So it is just that what program you like, and there you want to provide, and for how many students you want to provide that. We are providing scholarship to nearly 500 Palestinian students. We are providing help to many Yemeni students, to students from Africa. So we are open. It is just that in which program you want to take the interest.
Sir, in this program, what is the liability of the university?
Liability of the university is that they provide the residence, they provide the help in the fee structure and things like that. And we provide them the visa and the tickets and to bring them here, to pick them up from that country by examining them and taking an exam of that and picking the best students. So this is our part. We provide half of the financial help in a sense that the ticket to traveling grants are there. We provide those traveling grants. But university has to open the doors to have them live there and to provide them the financial support in kind of fee. So this is
Only fee or something else?
if they can provide some stipend, that's other thing, but it depends. So we categorize that. That this university is providing the stipend and also the living expenses. This is not providing it, so how we can help, how we can come.
Right.
So, yeah. Now I have compiled some of the key points and takeaway, and that these are the recommendations Basically, I have taken those points which are generally for everybody and for the OIC country. I haven't taken those points which are particular for particular university. First, the importance of a strengthening quality assurance framework in OIC universities need to be emphasized. See, Pakistan is really on the high ranking in the OIC universities, Turkey, Malaysia, and Africa. Here we are talking about all the universities of 57 countries. You have to keep that in mind. The importance of a strengthening quality assurance framework in OIC universities need to be emphasized for COMSTECHCCOE universities, policymakers, and institutions. Second, we call for action to strengthen quality assurance framework in OIC university. Third, in order to improve quality system ranking, exchange program of BS, MPhil, and PhD scholars. This is your answer to inclusion among OIC countries need to be started. Then, COMSTECH should create a working group of relevant academicians in OIC member states for collaboration on enhancing academic reputations, ranking bodies, surveys of HEIC, higher education institutes. Employer reputation context may also be picked similarly. And the last, COMSTECH should establish research collaboration in OIC countries for enhancing performance in the international research network. Further workshops should include sessions by QS and the World University Ranking Agency representatives. Third, international credential bodies experts should be engaged to share relevant technical knowledge and to enhance the network with the industry expert among OIC member states to bridge academia and the academy. And here I haven't mentioned, I just like to mention that we have also relationships with many industries. We have MOU signed with many industries and many hospitals. We are sending the representative of these hospitals to many African countries. And we are also engaged with the halal food and halal women in those laws of halal food. And we are also engaged with the herbal medicine and many institutes where herbal medicine is involved in the white country. Thank you so much. If you want anything more important, very important, and globally important, you include in that.
Sir, I had one small submission, sir. I would like to appreciate all of my appreciation and gratitude for COMSTECH for organizing this, spending 2 days, and it was really worth it. You have really very nicely combined all of these recommendations. Apologies, I didn't submit it earlier because this idea just came to my mind now. It is the internationalization my colleague has said, sir. We don't need funding from COMSTECH. Everybody talks about faculty exchange, mobility, research value, student mobility. We don't need funding at the moment. Probably we understand COMSTECH framework as well. But we need that support, sir, in Pakistan as well as abroad. Student mobility needs visa and admission and acceptance into the different universities. When we want to call any student for 1 semester or a complete degree program from any country, first we need to have an IBCC equivalence before granting him admission. We cannot get an IBCC equivalence till the time student is here. HEC equivalence, Ministry of Interior clearance. There are so many checks in place that these are the systemic problems. And so is the case for our students. If COMSTECH wants to really contribute, just make policy level friendly travel policies may be made more friendly for our students and faculty so that the visa issues can be overcome through these channels. These channels, I think, can facilitate in that. The rest of the things, they will come as it is.
I think
Thank you.
I think the person is not here, but I think we have streamlined some of the procedure for our purposes. Because see, nearly 30 to 40 students are coming every month in different universities. So we are helping them to getting the visas. So we have channelized a few of the things and we help them actually in getting the visa replacements. Even the replacements is different, you know. Yes, yes, you are absolutely right. Procedures are there and we cannot leave the procedures behind, but we can shorten them or we can help the students do it. And that we are doing. That we are doing. Because see, it is very difficult for an organization like us to help 40, 50 students in a month to come here and to attend different universities. But we are doing it.
Sir,
Like,
Dr. Saifullah Khan, Director of PhD, Government Awareness Team. So there is a little bit suggestion with reference to in order to improve PhD ranking exchange program of US, MPhil and MT students. Why not faculty?
A good
Please,
question.
faculty.
A good question. I think it's very, very important. And while I was discussing in my lecture, I have emphasized that.
And second, we are talking on
On that, we were talking about Dr. Nisar had a question on that, impact factors and all these things. We discussed that.
And secondly, we are working on this platform. Why not there should be pensions and fees invested in policy contest?
Again,
Constant investment.
otherwise, please. Okay. The question is,
Yes, suggestion.
the question is fine, but it doesn't come under our purview. Because every country has its own ranking, own system, adaptation of different systems. So we cannot dictate them to have a different system. So we can help them to get this system done.
So we have two more questions from
Assalamu alaikum. So this is Dr. Bilal, Director Quality from Newton's Quetta. So I just have a suggestion. Yesterday, I heard Dr. Sai was saying that we are conducting capacity building sessions in Lahore and Karachi for Punjab and Sindh. I think she missed to mention Balochistan and KPK.
Well, we were thinking that if we go to Quetta separately, there won't be so many people. So we can invite Quetta people to Karachi. This was our thing.
Thank you, sir.
And since we can invite the Quetta.
Thank you so much.
I have already discussed that. There we have the yes.
Dr. Saqib Nasir, Director Planning and Development from Pakistan Science Foundation. I want to share one update regarding the query that was raised by Dr. Adnan from NEST. Ministry of Foreign Affairs is working on that path that they are trying to develop some one window strategy for expediting the cases regarding the exchange of the scientists, faculty members, and the students. Myself from the Pakistan Science Foundation, we are already keeping touch with the Foreign Office, and we are trying to develop a strategy for the quick response for resolving the issues of the relevant to the visas and all the system. So science diplomacy channels are also working there in the Foreign Office. So I'm pretty sure COMSTECH and all the relevant stakeholders will be get synchronized under the one window strategy, and that will be a great thing.
Nisar, you're right. These are steps recently taken by the government, but we have already our system working, and we are in touch with all the embassies there, and we expedite the cases by contacting them, and we are in touch with our embassies in different countries too. Let them do it. Let them do it. Still, it is needed. Okay, any more questions? So we can go for. We can go for lunch and we will be back here sharp at 2.
Bismillah Rahman Rahim. I would like to welcome all the participants and our honorable chief guest, Malik Rauf Awan. He is youngest ever focal person, Prime Minister Youth Program, and is also chairman, Malik Rauf Foundation. Thank you, sir, for sparing your time. The formal proceeding of the concluding ceremony is hereby started with the recitation of Holy Quran.
الله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان صدق الله العظيم.
Barakallah, mashallah. This is a concluding ceremony of 2 days international workshop on quality assurance and university ranking, which was attended by more than 500 participants virtually and 38 participants physically from the leading universities of Pakistan. And so far, we have secured a very overwhelming response from 27 countries. So there were participants who were from 27 countries attended this workshop. And I would like to thank to all the participants for making it more productive. And we are also very grateful to His Excellency Professor Dr. Iqbal Chaudhry for providing this opportunity to initiate this important initiative on this very important topic. Now I would request our honorable participants to share their brief remarks about the workshop. First of all, from Islamic University, Bahawalpur, Dr. Asadullah Madan. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I must thank the COMSTECH Institute for providing us an opportunity for an international event that is very well organized, and it was very well facilitated by all the members of the organization committee. During the first day, we learned about the international quality assurance mechanisms and aligning these mechanisms with the international rankings. So this the start was very thoughtful, and I must thank His Excellency Professor Dr. Mohammad Iqbal Chaudhary for his insightful talk about the important topic, and that is followed by Sayyida Zia Batul Saiba and Professor Javed Khurshid Saab and all other moderators, including Professor Dr. Shahid Sirik Saab. So the first day was very productive by learning from these highly intellectual, and I must say, these are the mentors of the mentors. That's really thankful, sir, for your insightful talk on international quality assurance mechanisms and international rankings. The second day, 2 days, that was also very productive by learning on mapping the quality assurance mechanism, quality assurance framework with the international ranking. So this was moderated by Puram Sir and Professor Javed Sir. And it was a really commendable experience of learning from these scholars as well as the international, the peers from all the Pakistani universities. And we have learned from our peers regarding the mapping and practical guidelines for mapping the EU standards in the international ranking. Really, we learned a lot. And at the end, I must say it as that we will take this message to our universities. And we will cascade all these practices over our university, that our faculty can take the maximum benefits of this workshop. Last but not the least, this workshop also provided me the opportunity to meet my respected teacher, Dr. Abdul Rashid Saab, and we talked about many opportunities regarding the collaboration of the universities for international students. And I also got the opportunity of meeting with His Excellency Professor Dr. Iqbal Chaudhary Saab. Sir, thank you so much for your all support and encouragement. Last but the least, I must thank Dr. Murtaza Noor Saab and his team for providing excellent facilitation throughout the workshop. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saab. And this is a very important point which has been raised by Dr. Madani, that we hope that this learned knowledge and the shared practices would also be, you can say, further multiplied by yourself, by sharing with your other colleagues. Thank you very much, sir. Now I will request Dr. Adnan Masood from National University of Science and Technology, which is the leading higher education institution of Pakistan.
Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Thank you very much for providing me the opportunity to give the closing remarks on this interesting event. Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Malik Rauf Saab, you are classified as Gen Z, and it is truly an honor for all of us to have a Gen Z and the chair position today. Yes. And His Excellency Professor Javed Iqbal Chaudhary Saab, sir, it is really, I will explain further why the kind of talk this session is interesting and timely. Dr. Shahid Mahmood Beg Saab for the first session, and of course Dr. Sayyid Javed Khurshid Saab for holding for remaining engaged with us for the complete 2 days. Ladies and gentlemen, these are very, very interesting times. We are seeing a strong globalization of higher education. The world is going through geopolitical shocks. There have been strong negative media outbreaks that the higher education institutions are finding it very challenging to handle. The global higher education enrollments are dwindling. Universities are challenged with maintaining the value in their education systems, and the economic jolts in the form of recession and due to pandemic, the world is yet to recover. So these are interesting times in which this talk was held. Specifically across the OIC countries, the challenges are same. And specifically from Pakistan, Our quality assurance framework was first introduced by Higher Education Commission in 2005. And now after 18 years, in PhD 2023, now we are implementing precepts, standards, and guidelines. We are rolling out in our universities this year. Interestingly, our standards have gone from 11 to 16 for the institution. And in parallel, the rankings are also getting more and more mature. So these are very, I think this conference is so timely that all of you guys are right now working in your universities to adopt the latest institutional quality circle framework. And this is the right time, this is the foundation time where you will be able to link those IQC standards with rankings, and ultimately we will be able to move forward. But it was truly a learning experience for us by interacting physically through these universities, and especially the online community. The participation, specifically from Nigeria and Bangladesh speakers, was really or like kind of a good learning experience. The bottom line that NUST has taken up from here is everything boils down to student experience. As His Excellency Professor Iqbal Chaudhary also mentioned in his opening remarks, there is a demographic winter coming. The population will be having longer life, long duration, life expectancy is increasing. So no matter how many equations we teach them in our university, the students, the graduates, they will change their career. So the move towards developing a student experience and making universities relevant so that the students, the graduates keep on coming again and again intermittently to our university is required. So if we tweak our internal quality in international institutional quality circle frameworks, the quality assurance frameworks all across the world, as well as rankings at this time, this would be the big win for all of us. But I thank you all.
Thank you very much. Now I will request Dr. Bilal Ijaz from COMSTECH University.
Honorable Chief Guest, Malik Bhawan Sahab, Coordinator General, His Excellency, Iqbal Chaudhary Sahab, Professor Javed Sahab, Professor Sheikh Sahab, and esteemed participants, Assalamu alaikum. I'm really thankful to COMSTECH for enabling this international workshop on quality assurance and university ranking. The key takeaway from this workshop is that we have been provided with the opportunity of networking, and we have shared good practices among local universities, and we also have the perspective of international participants who have joined online. And in the end, I've just written a quote from Aristotle that quality is not an act, it is a habit. So I'll request everybody that we will make quality a habit, and with ever evolving field of higher education, quality is not a necessity, it is a driving force for excellence. Thank you very much. And I'd like to mention Mr. Nusab for excellent hospitality for the past 2 days, and really thankful. Thank you.
Ensuring female representation, I will request Dr. Midhat Salman. She's from University of Health Sciences, Lahore.
I'm grateful to OIC COMSTECH for organizing this workshop. I definitely now understand better the university ranking systems and the criteria they're using to rank universities globally. I also understand better now which university ranking systems suit Pakistani universities better, so we focus on the whole. And being from the International Linkages Department, I now fully understand the importance of universities' visibility at an international level and how this organization, OIC COMSTECH, is there to help us in gaining that visibility by initiating with us the student and faculty exchange programs, as well as the collaborative research project. So thank you very much once again for inviting us and
Now we will request Dr. Syed Javed Khurshid Sahab to share the main recommendations of this today's academic activity.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm thankful to Malik Rauf Aman Sahab coming here and joining us for this activity in the MIC. And then I'm really thankful to Chaudhary Sahab who has given us the chance to convey our feelings and our findings to the university. And after going through this last session, I have taken some recommendations, and now I'm going to present those recommendations. And from on the behalf of my second coordinator journal, we will act on them. We will try recommendations. Now, the first one is the importance of strengthening quality assurance framework in OIC universities need to be emphasized for COMSTECHCCOE universities, policymakers, and stakeholders. We call for action to strengthen quality assurance framework in OIC universities. In order to improve quality system ranking, exchange program of BSc, MPhil, and PhD scholars among OIC countries is needed and to be started very soon. Then we feel that COMSTECH should create a working group of relevant academicians in OIC member states for collaboration on enhancing academic reputation and ranking in surveys of higher education institutes. Employer reputation context may also depict similarity. COMSTECH should establish research collaborations in OIC countries for enhancing performance in the international research network. Future workshops should include sessions of the quality systems and the World University Ranking Agency representatives. Then also the international accreditation body experts should be engaged to share relevant technical knowledge. To network with the industry, which is very important, expert among OIC member states to bridge academia industry gap. Thank you so much. These were the recommendations from the group sitting here, and I'm very thankful I have presented them to the chief guest and the coordinator general.
Now I will request His Excellency Professor Dr. Muhammad Iqbal Chaudhary for concluding remarks.
Our chief guest. I'm absolutely pleased because I often say that this nation represents three things: bold, beautiful, and bright. Come on. So our chief guest not only represents Gen Z, but also hope for this country. And honestly, if there is anything which really makes me believe this nation is our young generation. I'm honest. And naturally, when you grow older, you have responsibility by virtue of your profession. You travel all around the world. And I happen to be at least in 80 countries, if I remember correctly. And maybe in many countries, like multiple times. My first travel was in 1985, when many of you were not really born. So it doesn't reflect my age, I'm still very young. Because age is what you feel. My mom was just born. Say my salam to your brother. Thank you. So, in this long professional life, I've met with younger people all around the world. From east to the west, from north to south, and never seen such a brilliance that we see in this country.
and this is exactly what I want. So when I was selected as the Coordinator General of this only international organization of Pakistan, which Pakistan holds, OIC's Ministerial Standing Committee for 57 countries, the only thing which came in my mind was showcasing the best of what we have. You know, you can't really build bridges, roads, and give them as a gift to other countries. But what you can do is to help them in the most profound manner by showcasing the best institution which you have and the best people you have. And this is exactly what we intend to do. This very high power influential organization is currently engaged in building the image of this country. In last 5 years, and I'm sure with the younger generation taking over, and on top of it, unstoppable Dr. Zahid Bashir. This is very much on the wall. We can certainly see this. The best of what we have need to be showcased and presented. This is what we can help other nations to do. Professor Abdul Salam, I happened to meet him several times. I was the first recipient of Professor Salam Prize, and he invited me to Trieste. And, this meeting of about half an hour, extended about 1.5 hours. He was so much deep in love of this country. He keep talking about Pakistan. And if I remember correctly, he said, I miss Professor Salim Zaman Siddiqui. I miss working with younger people because he really wanted to build a huge scientific structure in this country. I remember his course, he used to say that the difference between developed countries and developing countries is only knowledge. Nothing else, not the wealth, not the resources. He also used to say, sir, the most lethal weapon which we have against poverty and superstition is education. And he used to say that the only purpose of education is to nurture innovative minds. So this is the words which you can take with you, ponder, think, and make you believe that, education is the real foundation, which we all talk about. And 4 speakers which came here and presented the feelings. Truly, one thing was very, very common and similar. The urge to achieve quality despite all the constraints. Constraints are numerous. If I tell you that the entire education budget of this country is less than the budget of Singapore National University. You can imagine what kind of constraints we are working in. So you see, your excellence is the one which can fill this gap. You may not really have laboratory, but you have knowledge, you have commitment and perseverance, and you can certainly communicate and build the capacity in the most profound manner. Quality is the habit, as mentioned. Develop that in everyone. This was a small effort from our side. We intend to move that forward with further recommendation, as been mentioned. My colleague, Dr. Shahid Mahmood Beg and Dr. Murtaza Noor will all work together and we'll make sure that this is not the only event and this is one of many, not only for yourself, but also so many of these online participants. Let me assure you, COMSTECH is standing by you and that we have a hope of, as we have with us, our chief guest. Thank you very much. Thank you.
His Excellency Professor Dr. Iqbal Chaudhry always advocates the youth builds of Pakistan and the potential of the youth in Pakistan. That's why we are honored, very youth, very young, you can say, our dynamic leader, Malik Rauf Awan Sahab, who has graced today's occasion as a chief guest. Now I will request Malik Rauf Awan Sahab to share his views as a chief guest of this occasion.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. Honorable participants, my dear elders, especially His Excellency Professor Dr. Iqbal Chaudhary Saab, who happens to be the Coordinator General of COMSTECH. It indeed is an honor sitting next to him. Mr. Professor Javed Khurshid Saab, who happens to be the organizer of this great conference or this great workshop. Professor Mumtaz Noor Sahib, who is also the organizer. Mr. Professor Shahid Beg. I definitely want to take each and everyone's name because all of you people have achieved a lot in your lives. But to all the participants and the participants that are online, I pay my humble regards to everyone and I welcome you with all my heart. To start with, talking in front of you people, talking in front of so much experts, talking in front of people who are, I'm sorry to use this word, but monsters in their fields, who are atom bombs in their fields, talking in front of educationists is just like turning on a torch in sunlight or throwing a torch towards the sunlight. So if I say something that is inappropriate or that is not correct, so please pardon me because I'm too young to talk in front of you guys. But today, it indeed is an honor. And they gave me the chair of the chief guest. I don't think so. I'm a chief guest today. I'm a student today. I'm a learner today. And for me, each and every one of you present here is the chief guest today. So many of you talked on education. It was a 2-day workshop. I would not talk on education because, as I said, throwing a torch towards the sunlight doesn't make sense. I'll talk on my role. What can I do with you people, or what can we do collectively? Being a part of the Prime Minister of this country, being a part of his team, being a part of the Prime Minister's Youth Program. What does Prime Minister's Youth Program do? What do we do? Prime Minister's Youth Program works on 4 E's. And the first E is education. Then we have employment, engagement, and environment. In education, we have scholarships, we have student exchange programs, we have endowment funds, we have innovations, we have IT setups, we have a lot of things. We are working for the youth of this country. Currently, we are working on the first ever national youth policy. We've been all up in Pakistan, to all the 4 provinces, to all the 3 units. We've been to people who are in education and training, and to the youth who is not in education and training. We went there, we completed our service. We are going to launch our first national youth policy. We recently made an application. Everyone here must use mobiles and everyone must be aware of the mobile applications like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm sure everyone uses it, right? Everyone uses that. So the government of Pakistan has currently launched an application that is known as the Digital Youth Hub.
So it is a platform for people like you guys and for a guy like me, for experts like you people and for students like me. So everyone who digital youth hub, an employer and an employee both. If you people make a profile on Digital Youth Hub and register yourselves on Digital Youth Hub, it is an AI generated app and AI will tell you what opportunities you guys have for us and what opportunities we people have for you. So I request everyone to please visit Digital Youth Hub once. And then I assure everyone here and the people online. We had around 250 participants yesterday and around 115 participants today from more than 30 countries, I believe. Pakistan is a growing nation. Those days are gone when people used to say Pakistan is going to be bankrupt. Pakistan is going to default. Pakistan is going to a black land. Those days are gone. Pakistan is gonna grow, inshallah. Pakistan is on a way forward, inshallah. We need people like you. We need experts like you people. We need to connect wherever the support of government is needed. The government is behind you. The government is ready to support you, but we all collectively have to pledge for one thing. This country happens to be a country populated with youth. They say this country has 64% of youth, but I say this country has 100% of youth because each and every one of you, if I ask my dear sir, what's your age? So he's 73 years young, he's not 73 years old. Everyone of this country considers himself young. So in a country that has 100% of youth, we all need to work for each other. And for the coming generation, for the people of my age, we need people like you. Please help us. We need to make policies. We need to make new programs. In these recommendations, Professor Iqbal Saab said that we have to make arrangements for education exchange programs between the countries. Count us in, count Prime Minister's Youth Program in. With education exchange programs, let's pledge, let's work on youth exchange programs, cultural exchange programs, and entrepreneur exchange programs as well. Because those things are needed as well. We all need to work collectively. But yes, I definitely want to talk a lot. I definitely want to talk much, but talking in front of you people is very hard because I must say something wrong. So not taking much of your time, I assure you wherever our support is needed. Prime Minister's Youth Program is along you people. The government of Pakistan is along you people. And let's pledge to work for this country and for every country. Let's work for the world. Let's work for each other. And by the end, I would want us to make a slogan that all of us Zindabad, but Pakistan Zindabad. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your thought-provoking thoughts. At the end, on the behalf of the organizing committee and organizing team, I would like to acknowledge the special cooperation extended by our staff, our media section, our photographer, our other, you can say, cafeteria staff, hostel staff, and all the IT staff and other people who helped a lot in making this event possible. Now we are moving towards the certificate distribution.
So